Hello everyone, welcome back to my day 3 of learning SAS in public journey. So today, uh, uh, will in day 3, I will explain what I've learned. Before that, I would like to just brush up the things which I've learned in a day 0, day 1 and day 2. So let's get started. So day 0 was just writing my first code. So how to write a code in SAS? So to create a data set in SAS, we use data statement. So this is the data statement. When we write this data, it means we are going to create a data set. Let me show you. So for example, data. So when we write this data statement, this means we are telling SAS that we are going to create a data set, or we are telling SAS to create a data set. Then we will have a space. Then we need to name the data set. For example, our data set name was school, 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 semicolon. Once the statement is completed, we will use semicolon. Semicolon means we completed this statement and we are moving to the next statement. It can act as a full stop for this sentence, you can say. But so what is this? This is a SAS syntax, SAS rule. Okay, so we need to follow this order. Okay, next. So as we all know, a data set is a combination of rows and columns. So in SAS, to add rows, we need to use input statement. Okay, input statement help us to create rows. Help us to create columns. So for this data set, we need column like name, age, gender. Again, once the statement is complete, as usual, semicolon. So next we use card statement, or we can use data line statement. So this statement tells us that we are going to give you records. So since this name, we need A, for age we need 12, for gender we need as gender is male. So again, another student's ID, B, his age is 13 and he female. So once the values are completed, we'll not write semicolon here. Only in this case, we write semicolon. Only in this case, we write semicolon after completing our values. So this is the only what you call only statement where after card statement we will write semicolon individually. So next, after completing the values, we need to execute the code. For executing the code, we need run statement. Run statement help us to execute the code. Like for example, if you are riding a bike, we need a starter, right? That starter help us to start the bike or car. So that like this, to run the statement, we need a run statement. To execute the code, we need a run statement. Okay. In this way, we can remember it. So we need to execute this code. So we can execute this. Once we select all the code, we need to just click on this running icon, or you can just click F3. So now I'm clicking F3. And we see our data set is created, but it is not like what we are expecting. Like for example, let me see. For name, we need A and B. In the output data, we see for name, there is a period symbol. And in age, there is 12, 13. Age is correct. And gender, we have output data as period symbol. Period symbol is that full stop. We are calling that period. So why is this happening? So SAS reads dataset in the form of numeric, but here the name and gender are not numeric, right? Since name is character, so we need to tell SAS that this is not a numeric value, this is a character value. How we are going to tell SAS? So after name, that is after writing the name of the column, we need to use a dollar symbol. This symbol tells SAS that this is a character variable, not a numeric. So this symbol we need to also use here. So this symbol tells SAS that the name and the gender columns are character. Now we will execute the same code. Select all, run the code. See here in the output data, we can see name AB, age 12, 13, and gender male, female. This is what we are going to create. Next, in day 1 and 2, what we learned is another style of writing a dataset. This is the one style of writing a dataset. In another way, we can write the dataset. Same dataset in another way. For example, school 1. We'll take school 1 as a name. Then here what is different is we are not using input statement or card statement. So how we are going to write, how you are assign the values, or how you are going to create the column names. So we'll just write the column name, for example, name in name, and directly assign the values. For example, for name we need A, for age we need 12, and for gender we need male. So here, after completing the sentence, same semicolon. Here, after completing the sentence, semicolon. Here also completing the sentence, semicolon. So once the statement is complete, as usual, run statement at the end, semicolon. We need to select all the code, same as it is. Press F3 or you can click on this run icon. The code will be executed. So here again, output data, see here, name, period symbol, and age 12, gender, period symbol. Again, there is a mistake. What is that mistake? Same here. So here, see, in this code also, we got that period symbol earlier. Why? Because we already said that SAS reads dataset in the form of numeric, but we need to tell SAS that this is character, not a numeric variable. So how we gonna tell that? Since it's a character, here we going to use dollar symbol, but in this style, we'll use quotation symbol. So we can use single quotation or you can use double quotation. So inside the quotation means this is a character variable. For age, we not need it because it's a numeric, and for gender, we need again same character. So inside the character means it is a inside the quotation means it's a character variable. So again, we can run this code, press F3 and see here. The code is executed, same as the code which we wrote here. So this, see here, F3. Let me just see it. Okay. Let me execute again. See here. Name, age, gender, and same for this we have created. Now we need, like, we have only one value, right? But we want another value in this. For that same, we'll just write output after completing this statement and semicolon. So again, we'll write the same statements, control C, and here control V. Sorry, controls, what is this? It got pasted another. Okay, let me just erase this. Okay, let me again see. Control C and here control V. Yeah. So here second value is B and second age is 13 and gender is female. So once the statement is complete, we'll use output statement. So why we need to we use output statement is if we not use output statement, SAS will read only from this much and it will just run the code. So once writing output statement with, we still have the values. So same here, name, B, age 13 and gender female. So in this style also we can write dataset. Usually this style is not preferred because it's making the code lengthy. The code, see, the code which can finish in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, it is making, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lines. In SAS, the code which runs and gives the same result in less code writing is mostly preferred. The code which needs more code or the program which needs more code is not usually preferred. It is not a good programming practice, we can say. Okay, so this is not usually preferred, but we need to know all the styles of writing dataset. Okay, So in this, let me show you, just run this and show you the result. See here, same as we created earlier for this data set, right? If we run here, see, same data set we have created for, without writing the what you call, without writing the this input statement, input or card statement, we have created the data set. These are the two styles of writing a data set. Next, what we learned is how to save a data set. So if you want to save this data set, if you return this code, you want to save this data set, we just need to click on the save program, and we can, here already there are files created. If you want to create your own file, let me show you. You just go here in the file section, just right click, new folder, and you can just create your new folder, and you can assign this code to that folder. Or else, if you have already created a folder, we can just go here and just, not here, just here in the code, just copy, click on save program, and program, for example, I need to save this in day one, click on this save. Oh, it's already exist, so we not need to save, we'll save in SAS March. Okay, we have saved this program in SAS March. We can check their files, where is SAS March, and we have, see, SAS March, we have their school.sas dataset. So this, when you click on this, we'll see the table which we have created, right? So we can save the output which we have created. Now, the thing is, we need to save the code permanently in SAS. Before that, let me just tell you about libraries. In SAS, we have libraries. These are maps GFK, map SAS, SAS data, SAS help, SAS user, STM, snap, web work. All these are permanent libraries. And this work is temporary library. Why I'm telling is, see, whatever data set that is exist in this maps GFK, we can't modify this data set. This data set exists as the same. We can't modify this data set. See here, this is Afghanistan data set. We can't modify or do anything to this data set. This already exists by SAS. If you want to do any changes for this data set, we need to first read this data set, create a new data set name. In that, we need to read these values in that and copy in that. And in that, we can create a new column or something like that. In this data set, we can't make, in these libraries, we can't make any changes. That is the one thing. Why work is, I am calling work as a temporary library, because in an active session, for example, today I am running a code. In an active session, whatever your code is run, whatever you type code, whatever do in an active session, open a programming this interface and do whatever, that all will saved in work. For example, here I created two data set, right? One is school, another is school one. So both will be saved here in the work library. See here, school and school one. In an active session, whatever data set you create will be stored in work library. So what happens when we log out, when we sign out from this? For example, I have created this two data set, and if I sign out, this data set will won't exist in the work library. Okay. So for that reason, we need to create a permanent library, and we can create like this our own permanent library that is called as user-defined permanent libraries. We can create that in SAS. Okay, I will show you that. Before that, I will show you how to access the dataset which are present here. For example, there is a dataset in maps, Afghani or Africa. Here is a dataset Africa. So we want to access this dataset. How we can access this dataset? For accessing the dataset which is present in a library, we use a statement. Let me say data, create a new dataset test2. And in this dataset, we want to access the dataset which is already present. So for that, we use set statement, set in which dataset our dataset is present in the map library, right? So set map library name. After that dot in maps, which folder. For example, in maps in Africa, we want to access the dataset AFRIC Africa semicolon. So this set statement helps to read the dataset which is already present in a permanent library. Then run statement semicolon. So this we need to run this. We will see the dataset which is present in Africa. See here, all the dataset which is present in Africa is copied to our new dataset that is named test2, right? Okay, so now what else we have? So how to create our own user-defined permanent libraries? To create a user-defined permanent library, we will use a statement again. So that statement is libname statement. Libname statement help us to create a permanent library. How we are going to create a permanent library? After writing a libname, we'll write the name of this library name. For example, for timing, my library is SAS lib. So this is the name of my library. There are some naming rules for this that we'll going to say today. Okay, SAS lib. Then we'll have the what you call location. Then we'll have assign the path. For example, this library refers to this path. Where is my path? So in the server's files and folders, for example, there is a March, new SAS, SAS learning and public. I will assign this path. Okay, this path has already, new SAS has already. Let me assign the March path. How to assign the path? So go on that folder, click on properties, and here we will get the location. This location is the path of this folder. So we have to type location of this folder, semicolon, one quotation mark, another quotation mark, insert the quotation, it should be inside the quotation. Once the quotation is complete, semicolon. Okay, so how we are going to create a user-defined permanent library? Again, first libname statement. Libname statement help us to create a permanent library. Then we have to name the library. Anything, you can name anything which you want. There is some naming rules which we will see today. Then after that, location of the library. So this is the location of the library. So this library refers to this path. So this library, whatever you save in this library will be saved in this folder. That is the meaning of this library. Okay, so how we need to create? Still the library is not created. We need to run this program. Then only library will be created. So F3. See here, we'll get a note in the log window. Libref SAS lib refers to the same physical library as temporary. SAS lib was successfully assigned as follows. So this statement libref SAS lib was successfully assigned means we have created our own user defined library. Okay. Then once we created a user defined library, we need to read that library, right? So how we can read that library? Sorry, we created a SAS lib, what is called libname. We created a permanent library. Now we want to store our dataset in that library. How we can store the dataset? Data. So what the dataset we have created? I will take the same dataset. For example, data test tour Africa. This dataset na you currently created. I will take the example of same dataset. Okay, so this is the dataset. So in this dataset, I want to store this dataset in a permanent library. How to store this permanent library? We'll just write the library name in front of our dataset name, SAS lib dot test2. So this will assign the dataset to this library. For example, if we run this, now when we see the output data, we'll see table SAS lib dot test2. This means this code or this dataset is in this SAS lib. So how to say this? Here in the library section, we'll have my libraries. Click this. Then we will have SAS lib here. See here, SAS lib. Click on this. That's loading. Oh, it's taking time. I think, see here, school dataset and test2 dataset are saved in the SAS lib library, right? So this means we have saved this in the permanent library, right? So this is how we can store the dataset in permanent libraries. This is what we learned in our day 0, day 1 and day 2 classes. Today, what we are going to learn is about day 3 is all about the naming convention. Till now, we are just named something like, for example, data school 1. So there is no rule. We can name anything dataset. Like, for example, a variable can be this much only. There will be so much questions for you. So today we will gonna address all this. We have learned today, day 3 is about the naming convention in SAS. That is simply means the naming rules in SAS. What are the rules for the naming convention? So for the naming convention for data set name, for example, we are naming a data set, for example, school. So it is the name of a data set. So the naming convention for data set name and the column name, this is a variable name, we can call it, both are same. Both rules are same, so it becomes easy when two questions have same answers, right? In the same way, the dataset name and the variable name contains the same rules. So what are the rules? Let me address it. So first rule is the name always starts with either character or underscore. So we can write the name as school. We can write the name as SCHW, first character, or it can be an underscore. Let me type underscore. So this can also applicable. See here, when we run this code, it will still execute the code, and we can see the name underscore. See here, but it can't be a special character. For example, it can't be numbers also. The first letter can't be number. If we type number and run the code, see here we get an error. It's running. I think there is a server problem. See here, the code has not run because in the log window it shows error. See here, syntax error, right? It can't be numeric. The first letter can always be a character or an underscore. You can use an underscore or a character. And these characters must be must be maximum 32 characters only. We can't use more than 32 characters. For example, this SCHOOL, how many characters are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So again, we'll write one more school, SCHW school, 6, 12, 18, right? 18 characters. Again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6, 12, 18, 24. Then again, 32, right? So let type 33. How much character is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. This is 31 characters. See here. Let me run this code. If it is under 32, it will run. If it is more than 32, it will not run. See here, it's running. It means it's under 32 characters. Let's type few more characters, WE. So now let me run this code. See here, the dataset name cannot have more than 32 bytes. It means the name can be only 32 characters. If you write anything more than that, so it will not take. Usually this much, nobody name the dataset this much long. Usually everyone prefers minimum 6 to 8 characters, which is maximum preferred. It is also a good programming practice. We not use more than that characters. And the naming convention for input are applies same. We can't add first letter as number. It should be a character or underscore, Both can be applicable. So after the first character, we can use numbers. For example, after underscore, I can use number 1. In the same way, school, after yes, we can use 1. So let me run this. This code will execute. So we can use numbers in the second character, numbers or underscore or a character in the second. After the first character, we can use. First character has rules. What are the rules for the first character? First character must be only a character or underscore, right? Let me write here. First character must be a character or number. Ignore my spelling here for character. Okay, first character must be a character or a number. Now, here in this data set, like SCHOOL, we can't add spaces. Spaces are not valid in the dataset name. For example, if we run this, we'll get an error. Correct? It is applicable. Spaces are to get an error. It's executing. How? Spaces. Let me see the output data again. Work ch. Okay. क्या गजब हो गया? Actually, the rule was like we can't have spaces. I don't know how it is executing. Let me try here space. F3. Okay, it's still executing. Spaces. Spaces are not allowed actually. I don't know how it is executing space. So here in this variable name we are getting error. But I don't know why in this name I didn't get an error. Like after yes, if I use a space, I should get an error. And spaces are not allowed in data name or variable names. But I don't know how it is working here. Actually, the rule is like spaces are not allowed. Okay. In the name, we can't have spaces. And we can't have special characters. In here, after name, in the name section, we can't have special characters like what are the special characters? In keyboard, we'll have and or hashtag or this at. We can't have any special characters here. That is one of the rule. And the maximum length we have discussed, that is 32. And now we'll discuss the naming conventions for these are the naming conventions. Let me just address. I have written something somewhere, the naming conventions. No, here. See here. Maximum 32 characters are allowed. It will start with a letter or an underscore. Cannot start with a number. First letter can't be a number as we discussed. No spaces. Spaces are not allowed. No special characters. Use only letters, numbers, or underscore. This much is only allowed in naming convention. And case insensitive. So the age, if you write all the 3 in caps, all the 3 in smalls, 1 cap, another 2 small, all SAS reads as same. So this SAS is not case sensitive. Okay, case means uppercase means like capital letters, lowercase is refers to small letters. So this is the naming convention in SAS. So there are some another thing we learned today is comment. In SAS we have comment. So how to use comment? Comment is used to write or note down. For example, you created a data set today. For example, I created a data set today, and some other person is working on this data set. So we need to have some feedback or remark here, right? So he or you say comment is like a note. For example, I need to tell him like use first asterisk, then we'll use this is a school data containing how many rows are there? 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is the note I need to tell. How we will get the note? So we will type first asterisk, then last we'll type uh, sorry. First we'll type asterisk and last we'll type semicolon. So this is a comment. So this is how we can comment. Let me check. This is one type of comment. So if we execute this code, the SAS will not read this. Oh, sorry. I think I have done a mistake here. Asterisk and after the semicolon. What was it? I think I forgot that. Let me use this. And asterisk. Where is asterisk? And slash. See here. Actually, the comment should be appeared in green. I don't know why it is appearing like this. Let me write the comment here. This is a data set. Or in the shortcut keys, the shortcut ways, just select this, press Control Q. Right? Shift Control Z. Control question mark. Control Z. Wait a minute. It is selecting whole code. Control question mark. We'll make this Control Z again. Okay. This is correcting the control. See, let me type here. Control question mark. See here. So this is the data set. Control Z again. Let me type here. The comment should work, but I don't know why it is like doing like this today. It was working fine earlier. Let me run this code then. Okay, so we are getting error. I don't know, something I missed here. Control Z. The comment section I didn't learn perfectly. Okay. Sorry for that. The comment section I will improve it tomorrow and I will come again. But for comment it is like we are telling we are adding a note. This should work. Like for example, if you comment something, just we need to select this and control question mark. It will be commented, but I don't know why it is not working correctly. And whenever you comment, it will be appear in a green. For example, I will add space here. And now I will see if this works. It is selecting whole this code. I don't know what is happening. Let it be. In comment, we'll do in another video. Okay. What are the naming conventions we have learned for the dataset name and variable name, right? So dataset name first letter must be a character, or we can use underscore, right? And the next letter, for example, the second letter can be a number, can be a character, can also be a underscore. So spaces are not allowed. We can't add spaces here. And it can contain up to 32 characters. It can contain up to 32 characters, not more than that. And maximum we use 8 characters in our daily naming sections. And what else we have? This much only, right? So we also have the naming convention for SAS lib for the library name. For example, if we're naming a library, it must contain at least, let me check for naming convention for libraries. So this, it can't have 32 characters. Okay. That one mistake. This naming convention for slash lib, that is library name, is that we can have at least 8 characters. The first character must be a character or an underscore. Underscore can also be applicable here. Same as for that. After the first character, same we can use letters, numbers, and characters both. So second character can be number or a letter or an underscore. Second character can be anything. This is, and what else we have for the naming libraries? Here also we can't add spaces. Spaces are not allowed. This will add an error if you run this. Let me select here. Okay. This is not selecting only. We can't have spaces. And this last rule is no special characters. So here also we can't add the special characters like I showed na hashtag, act, this, and percentage, or and. These all special characters are not allowed in the naming convention. So this is what we have learned in the day 3. I think we should work on our, we should need a more practice on this comment section. I will do that. I will come up again. Day 3 was not as much as I expected. What not as good as I learned. I think day 3 learning should be done again. So this was my day 3 learning SAS in public journey. Thank you so much for watching. Stay connected. Let's see you on day 4.